This is our trip to Ireland, and our tour started from Dublin. We were all waiting to start our city tour in the hotel lobby. Our bus is waiting while Catherine, our guide, is reviewing the guest list as we were boarding our bus.
Building opposite it is the magnificent old House of Parliament, built in the 1730s. And the House of Parliament was used up until 1801. In 1801 it was closed because they closed the Irish House of Parliament, and it is today the headquarters of the Bank of Ireland. Kings were Christians, and they built the first chapel on this site. So we know that churches have been built on this site for the best part of 1200 years. And it's called Christ Church from the Christian Church.
We took a side trip to Trinity College, where they housed their famous Book of Kells in the main chamber of the old library. We then stopped at the memorial for the unknown soldiers along our way back to the hotel. Our first stop for this morning is the Irish National Stock Farm at Kildare, a renowned place for raising thoroughbred horses. The mares come here to give birth to their foals. They will spend most of their time in fields until they become 1-year-olds. They will then begin a fitness program which will prepare them for life as a racehorse. We then visited Strokestown House, which is a beautifully restored 1740s mansion.
Had you not got sailors on board drinking a tank and 2 extra barrels? It would have been grand. We brought from a pond in the garden and placed in the ice house. Then a footman would have to go down and collect it and bring it up. It wouldn't be clean, so it couldn't touch the liquid. In the corner, at the front on the right, there was a jug. In the middle, there's a cylinder. Man Devlin, and the poster is on the wall there to the right. That film was made in this house in 1985, and it was about the time of the Rising of 1798. From the gallery, she would write out her menus and drop them down in a coil. She would keep expensive items like spices and tea in the lock and key.
We now move on to the Family Museum. Plight has devastated the potato crop, and from 1845 to 1852, quarter of the population were either dead or emigrated.
This is the first room, the Ascendancy, and in this room they have a Strokestown Park House model, 1,000 acres of land, a big high wall around the domain that kept the tenants on their side.
We stop at Knock, a village in County Mayo. 1.5 million pilgrims from Europe visit the Knock Shrine annually, since the town folk saw apparitions. Kynemore Abbey is an 15,000-acre estate. It is an oasis in the heart of Connemara. Mitchell Henry purchased this as a romantic gift for his wife Margaret and created one of Ireland's most beautiful castles. Kynemore is home to a community of nuns of the Benedictine order in 1920s. They opened a world-renowned boarding school for girls. They began restoring the abbey, the Gothic church, and garden to their former glory. This is the largest Victorian walled garden in Ireland, with 21 glass houses. While staying at Galway, we dined at Dunguire Castle.
Nets will be drying, the nets heaven blessed, and safe in my arms, dear, contented he'll rest. Hear the wind blow, love, hear the wind blow. Lean your head over and hear the wind blow.
We took a ferry ride to Kilronan, the largest of the Aran Islands. We then stopped at Joe Watty's pub for lunch, entertained by the musicians singing in guitar.
More ancient McFella, how is by good Joe McFella had all while more.
After lunch, We then took a long walk all the way to Dun Angus Fort. It is one of the most famous prehistoric stone forts, perched on the edge of a cliff overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. Day 5, we went and visited Rothbourne Farm, a typical Irish working farm. We met the farm's official greeter. He was getting impatient because he was not allowed to come inside where we work on scone making class. We try our best and work hard to make enough scones for breakfast. Meet our energetic team.
Okay.
After breakfast, we met the farmer and his faithful dog.
The first thing I'm going to do is just tell you a few things about the farm, and as I said, if you have any questions...
We had a chance to feed a baby lamb before we were giving a demonstration on sheep herding techniques.
Nice.
What an exciting 10 minutes experience. This dog certainly earned his keep. He managed to hurdle all the sheep into the barn. Farmer also demonstrated their sheep shearing process. We then traveled to the Cliffs of Moher, what is located at the southwest edge of the Barren, a limestone plateau. They rise approximately 668 feet above Atlantic Ocean. Estimated 30,000 birds representing more than 20 species living on these cliffs. This is an ancient portal tomb. It is supported by 2 slender portal stones. Limerick is the 3rd largest city in Ireland. It is located on the River Shannon. Was conquered by the Vikings in the 9th century. Before arriving at King John's Castle, we stopped at St. Mary's Cathedral. King John's Castle was built between 1200 and 1210. It has been repaired and extended many times over the following centuries. It is an impressive Anglo-Norman fortification. The display here in the courtyard shows the trades and traditions and how they lived during the 16th century. We also had a chance to tour the inside of the castle. The exhibits were very well preserved and maintained. We stopped over at Adare, a quaint village with their well-maintained thatch rooftops.
What has happened is that yes, they're about to rethatch. Look here, so look at they're rethatching. So they're rethatching on top of the old. Here on the right hand side is the Trinitarian Church. And this is...
We stayed over 2 nights in Killarney. This Macro's house was one of the attractions which we did not take. We went and saw an Irish musical production named Orlean. This is Ring of Kerry, situated around the island's southwestern tip. We went for a 100-mile panoramic drive. We saw street musicians, and we then stopped at Ladies View for pictures. Also enjoyed talking to the local farmer with his family and animals. In the city, we had a special treat. Went for a horse-drawn carriage ride through the national park. Indeed, this is a perfect sunny day, walking in the park, surrounded by lakes, as well as visiting the ancient Ross Castle. Day 8. This morning, we paid a visit to the famous Blarney Castle, which is believed to possess magical power after kissing its stone. Without exception, I went and tried my Irish luck by kissing its stone. The garden, with its running stream, beautiful greenery, is truly exceptional and picture perfect. This is truly a welcome change of scenery instead of the countryside winding roads. In the city, we went and toured the House of Waterford Crystal. We browsed and cannot stop admiring these beautiful crystal collections in their showroom.
I want a rose up and pull them away, so you'll never see a unicorn till this very day.
We spent a relaxing afternoon in a local pub, being entertained by the singer with his newly recruited members.
So sure as you're born, there ain't gonna be no unicorn.
Here you can see our driver. He is exhausted, had to take a break after a long day's journey. Our musician found a prettier young lady to assist him this time around. We visited the oldest hand-weaving mill at Avoca. Tour guide briefly explained the weaving process, and the operator gave a weaving demonstration. Glendalough is the Valley of Two Lakes, gateway to the monastic city. We walked through these archways to the open graveyard and cemetery. There are numerous decorated crosses, but the most impressive one is the round tower. It rises 30 feet high. St. Kevin Church is one of the most important monastic sites in Ireland during the 6th century. This was the Cathedral of St. Peter and St. Paul. We then went inside to the Visitors Center. These are the artifacts from the monastic times. Our last night in Ireland, we went to Taylor's for dinner and show. Our vacation ended this morning, and we bid farewell to a lot of new friends.